Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we are going to take a look at one of American Express's most frustrating, slightly misunderstood credits, and that is the Airline Incidental Credit. So, typical fashion, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the credit, how American Express intends for you to use it, as well as some alternative ways where you can kind of use it in a way that might lead you to get more value out of it. So, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button. Let's get to work. Okay, first things first, let's start out by talking about the Airline Incidental Credit by American Express, defining what it is and how it works. So here we have it, the Airline Incidental Credit. This is in the name. It's a credit for airline incidental purchases annually. Now, this does apply to a few cards. So the Platinum card is going to get $200 per year in airline incidentals. The Business Platinum will also get $200 a year, and then the Hilton Aspire card will get $250 per year as well. Now, it's important to note this credit does not roll over. It is a use it or lose it credit. However, the good news here is this can be paid out all at once in one purchase or over multiple purchases throughout the course of that year. So it's not like the Uber Cash credit, for example, where you get $10 a month. You can take this $200 all at once if you so choose, your purchase qualifies. Now, again, in typical American Express fashion, you must opt into this credit. If not, you don't get it. And when you opt in, there's also an extra layer here. You must select one airline carrier for the year. Now, selection is from January 1st to January 31st each year. So especially when you first get the Platinum card, you're going to have to go in and do this and pick your airline carrier. Now, if you pick your airline carrier and you don't change it, then you're good to go in subsequent years. For example, I'm on year number 2 of my Platinum card, and I have not gone in and changed my carrier from Delta. But if you want to know what airlines are included, let's take a look at that now. So the airline options you have here are Alaska Airlines, American, Delta, Frontier, Hawaiian, JetBlue, Spirit, Southwest, and United. So how this works here is you're going to have to select one of them again, and then for the year, if you make any incidental charges on that airline with your Platinum card, that will cover it. Now, in fairness, I have heard of and seen data points where folks are saying, hey, mid-year they want to change their airline and they've been able to phone up or go through chat and get that changed. So it might not be a hard or fast rule that has to be set by January, but typically that is the time where if you want to change your airline, you're going to have to do it again. I picked mine once when I signed up for the card, and I have not changed it since. Now, if you're unfamiliar with American Express's site, really quick here, you're going to want to log in to your portal, select your Platinum card from your list of options. Then I've got on screen exactly where you can find it. But if you go into the benefits section, then you can filter down by credits or coupons if you prefer that need enrollment. You can go ahead and do that. Scroll down to find it. You'll be able to opt in and select your airline carrier from there. There should also be a status tracker in there as well that's going to show you how much of the $200 you've used, as you don't have to use all the $200 in one go. Now, with that being said, you might be wondering, well, you said it's an incidental credit, but what exactly does that mean? What does that cover? What can I actually get from that? So let's take a look at the list of things it covers next. So here we have the list of incidental purchases and what counts versus does not count. So first things first, we'll start out on the left-hand side of what does count. So checked baggage fees, overweight or oversized baggage fees, change fees, phone reservation fees, which I don't know who's paying those, pet flight fees, airport lounge, day passes and annual memberships, seat assignment fees, in-flight amenity fees, so like beverages, food, pillows, blankets, those little cheap headphones they try to sell you, things like that. And then in-flight entertainment fees, but not wireless internet. I think wireless internet technically goes through another company, so it won't trigger the charge, just like a United or Delta charge, for example. Now, on the other hand, the right-hand side here, we have what does not count. So charges from an airline other than the one selected. Again, back to the fact that you have to pick your airline. Of course, airline tickets, upgrades, mileage points purchases, mileage points transfer fees, gift cards, duty-free purchases, and award tickets. So after looking at that list, this is the part where folks end up generally divided on their thoughts of this credit. You know, this is kind of to the open. On one hand, this credit does get a bad rap, in my opinion, because it does cover quite a bit of things. Now, the downside is that if you're familiar with like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, their $300 travel credit, like anything codes as travel, and you can use it wherever you want and whatever your heart desires. I think I've triggered it leaving parking garages in a city, not even near an airport airport before, and I've gotten my $3-4 of parking back. So that's kind of what folks would want, and they camp on the right-hand side of get maximum value. However, the camp on the left-hand side of the things that count, again, it's still a pretty encompassing list, and if you travel quite a bit, you're likely to encounter one of these charges. So quick, for example, I did have to change over a flight, just, something comes up, you need to leave earlier or later than you used to, about a $30 fee, and then the Platinum card ended up covering that. It actually ended up covering the difference between the original flight and the new flight. It's about $30. So I don't know that's specifically a change fee or just the difference that Amex or Delta was charging me, but either way, it still helps. But I generally fall into the camp of the folks on the right-hand side who would like to get maximum value from this credit by using it for either a seat upgrade, would actually be pretty nice, or more specifically airline tickets. That's kind of what we all want, right? Just a discount on those tickets, because again, this $200, it's almost like us prepaying Amex, and we want to get that money back. So over the years, there's been a lot of loopholes about this. You've probably read at one point you could actually buy $50 gift cards, I think it was, direct from carriers, and that would trigger it. But Amex and the airlines have quickly shut down a lot of these loopholes. So as a result, it's really hard to do this, to use the credit for tickets. However, there are a few ways. So what we're going to do in the second half of this video, now that we understand what the credit is, I'm going to walk you through a specific use case I just went through redeeming for a flight, and then I'll also tell you about a few other ways if you are interested. So the quick backstory here, if you've seen some of my other videos, especially the Capital One Venture X card, link down below if you're interested. Capital One also has a lounge opening in Dallas at DFW Airport. I want to go check it out, make a video about it. So I want to use this credit because it's a flight where I'm not really going to leave the airport. I don't have another reason to be there except to go do this lounge video and come back. So I don't really want to use a ton of points, but I still know I have $170 left of this $200 credit, so I want to use that. So let me walk you through what I did. Now, this is specific for Delta. We should note that as well. I don't know that this works for every other airline, but specific for Delta, what you can do here is you can book what we call an additional collection. So I've got on screen kind of the steps that you would do. So first of all, you're going to book your flight like you would imagine. Now you're going to pay for a portion of it with a Delta gift card. And the reason you want to do this is because that if the remaining charge is $200 or less. Now I've also heard it could be $250 or less, so some discrepancy there. Please provide comments and data points down below if you're familiar, but we'll just say $200 for now because that's what I tested. So if the remaining charge is $200 or less, then that will be classified as an additional collection. And this additional collection will then trigger the credit. So on screen now you have my receipt for this flight, so you can kind of see what happens. We can walk through the numbers here. So you can see the total charge of the flight was going to be $326. That's highlighted down there under total price. Now again, I know I have $170 left of this credit. I also know that I'm operating under the fact that I need this final charge to be under $200. Again, $250 may work. Now, not to confuse things anymore, but we do want to get maximum value here. So to bring in one more card, Freedom Flex has 5x back at PayPal for Q4 of 2021. So I went over to PayPal, bought a Delta gift card for $150. Now, you couldn't do specific amounts with them. They just did increments of 100, 150, 200. So 150 is the closest I could get, because you can see here, if I subtract, and again, I know I have $170 left, so if I go into subtract 170 from 326, I'll get 156, and that's how I know how much money I need on my Delta gift card. Plug that in to finish out the purchase, and then make the rest of the purchase with my Platinum card, and then I'll put it on screen here on the side. You can see that a few days later, that did in fact trigger the credit. So as a result, now I've been able to maximize that $200 that the Amex gives you for incidental travel. Now, if this isn't interesting to you, there are a few additional loopholes to get around this that we can quickly take a look at. Granted, I do not have experience with them, so again, if you have experience, drop your comments down below. But the additional loopholes I found is that flights under $100 for Delta, Southwest, and JetBlue will trigger this. And there's also something called United Travel Bank that folks have had some level of success loading in their $200, just basically paying $200, and it triggers that. I'll link to that down below. Again, don't have any experience with it. Now, overall, Again, I just spent a lot. I went into a lot of detail here. This is actually really easy to do, to book your flight, go get a gift card, do some quick math, and do it. Plus, again, if you bring in a card like the Freedom Flex or something that's going to give you 5x, you're also getting 5x back on that gift card. And then, of course, you're using the Delta, the Platinum, Amex Platinum to book directly from Delta, so you're getting 5x over there as well. So you're also maximizing your points. And again, this is pretty important because this does play a huge role into your keep or cancel decision with the Platinum, especially now that the annual fee is $695. To be able to use this $200 incidental credit the way you want to use it is a huge piece of that. So again, final thought here. Again, I don't think that the incidentals that it covers is necessarily bad. It's just more so a lot of us in this space have cards that will give us a check back for free. I have the Delta Platinum, so I'm covered there. I'm not going to need to do that. A lot of us are kind of value conscious, trying to maximize value, so we wouldn't eat on a plane or drink on a plane. I've seen people do it. Things are way too expensive, but hey, people do it. So if you fall into that camp, great. You could totally enjoy the incidental credit on its own and the things that it covers. But for at least right now, and I do want to stress right now as of late 2021, this still works. Again, we've seen Delta and Amex work together to shut down many, many loopholes, and I don't know how long this one will last for, but as long as it lasts, I'm here to use it and maximize it as much as I can. So anyways, guys, if you've liked this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, then go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. My question for you guys is, let me know what you think of the airline incidental credit. Do you like to use it as it's intended to be used? It's kind of a little extra perk maybe for check bags or something like that, plane amenities, or do you prefer to go around the loophole like we did here, use it for tickets to, get the full value, if you will. And of course, stay tuned because I'm going to have that trip to the Capital One Lounge as well if you're interested. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.